The 10 biggest fires in U.S. history. Before California, disaster. Wind-driven fires that ignited and quickly swept through Southern California have resulted in at least 24 deaths, thousands of structures destroyed, and likely billions in damage. While the Los Angeles fires may not be the largest in U.S. history, in this video I will reveal to you the 10 most destructive fires in the country's history. 10. The Yarnell Fire. The Yarnell Fire in Arizona may not look very big compared to the Miramichi Fire in Maine or the August Complex in California, but it was both the biggest and the deadliest wildfire in the history of Arizona. It burned 8,400 acres and killed 19 firefighters. It was started by a lightning strike, but a months-long drought and persistent heat created the perfect conditions for the resulting fire to blaze out of control. 9. Mendocino Complex. The Mendocino Complex Fire was another grouping of smaller fires that came together to form a larger blaze. At the time, it was the biggest wildfire in California's history. It started when a property owner in the northern part of the state was hammering a metal stake into the ground. A spark flew off and ignited the initial blaze. A total of 459,123 acres were burned, and one person lost their life. Like the Dixie Fire, it took 3 months to contain the Mendocino Complex. 8. Dixie Fire. The Dixie Fire in Butte County, California, is the state's second-largest wildfire. Beginning on July 13, 2021, it burned nearly 1 million acres and caused 1 death over the course of the next 3 months. The blaze was not fully contained until October 26, 2021. Even then, it took the efforts of thousands of firefighters implementing all kinds of fire suppression techniques to wrest the Dixie Fire under control. 7. Peshtigo Fire. Not many people know about the Peshtigo Fire of 1871. That's because this wildfire happened at the same time as the more infamous Great Chicago Fire, which completely destroyed the city. The reality is that the Peshtigo Fire was both larger and deadlier. In fact, it is counted as the deadliest fire in U.S. history because it claimed over 1,500 people's lives. 6. The August Complex Fire. The August Complex Fire was a merging of 37 separate fires at once in Mendocino County, California. It was the largest wildfire on record in the state's history, but it was also just one of a long list of fires that plagued California through its long 2020 fire season. The low death toll is incredible considering the August Complex Fire burned through a whopping 1,032,748 acres. 5. The Smokehouse Creek Fire. The Smokehouse Creek Fire burned over 1 million acres in the Texas Panhandle over the course of nearly 3 weeks and claimed the lives of 2 individuals. 4. The Taylor Complex Fire. The Taylor Complex Fire in Alaska was considered the biggest wildfire in the history of the United States from 2004, when it first conflagrated, all the way through 2007. It burned over 1.3 million acres, although no deaths were reported. 3. The Great Michigan Fire. The Great Michigan Fire occurred alongside the Peshtigo Fire and the Great Chicago Fire. It is estimated to have burned through 2.5 million acres. While the official death toll is unknown, experts place it at less than 250 people. 2. The Great Fire of 1910. The Great Fire of 1910 is aptly named. Despite only lasting for 2 days, it did many lifetimes' worth of damage. It burned through around 3,000 acres throughout Idaho, Montana, and Washington. In addition, the blaze killed a staggering 87 people. It's considered one of the worst fires in U.S. history. 1. 1825 Miramichi Fire. The biggest wildfire in recorded U.S. history is the 1825 Miramichi Fire. It blazed through an estimated 3,000 million acres and claimed at least 160 lives. That makes it not just one of the most widespread fires, but also one of the deadliest. Most of the burning took place in New Brunswick, Canada, but the flames also spread down into the state of Maine. People and animals were reported to be fleeing the fire down the Miramichi River, which also shares its name with a city in Canada where the fire did the most damage.